All set to go here at Alberton Oval, round 24. The Magpies against the Dogs. 1 play 3. What a great year the Dogs have had. Malachellis goes at a rugby-style push through the pack and gets... Oh, have a look at that. Got him down, and it's a sign of things to come, Michael.
Have a look at this. There's players running from everywhere.
It's an enormous ball on the wing. Cop this. And down they go.
All started with Peter Green, and unfortunately for the Doggies, he might miss a few.
Paul was the man that was knocked to the ground. He was the man that missed the finals last year after being suspended.
Just crazy. Why would you do that?
Yes, it's you've really got to have a lot of discipline to start these things and not affect the general emotional stability. As Port Adelaide run into the open goal, it might have been Malachellis, I think, that did it, concentrating just on the play, and Port Adelaide have got the advantage out of the brawls.
Well, what a start. Central Districts obviously top spot stitched up. The umpire now reporting Peter Green, Michael Abbott. So I would think he might have a rest for 1 or 2. A good start to the Magpies.
Windsor and Smith having a few words to say. A lot of pushing and shoving, so a lot of emotion in the early part of this big game at the Alberton Oval. It is jam-packed here. Mead and Ingerson wins it. Kicked forward now by Healy, up towards centre half forward. A chance for the Bulldogs. No, Fiachi, cool as a cucumber, and swings it back into the midfield area. Bad bounce for West. Chance for the captain, Ginniver Court. Has the footy. The umpire says, I'll come over and ball it up in the middle of the Alberton Oval.
Behind play, Arnold and Lees really going at each other. There's plenty of emotion in this game. Lots of spite early. I think that's probably the right word. Bit unusual for two top teams to lose their concentration on the man. Let's hope they don't continue it. Ginniver on his left boot, pushes it deep into the forward line. Smith with a chance. Lee with him. Plenty of experience between these two players. Opportunity now, open goal, and Malachellis, Spiro, had the opportunity to make himself a hero at Alberton. Offline to the left.
Well, it was great work by Darren Smith there. Scott Lee bodied him beautifully, got control of the ball, and the handball out was spot on, but they couldn't finish it off.
Windsor's kick is successful. A series of hand passes, though, it comes unstuck. Malachellis, chance again for the Magpies. Malachellis shot on goal. It hasn't quite got the distance. In the end, it goes over their head and through for a behind. A good start to Port Adelaide. 1 goal, 2, 8 points. Central District yet to score.
Beautiful day. Win over West last week, the Magpies, and the Dogs. Good win over the Tigers. And the ball back into play. Ingerson sets himself. Healy, big knock. Oh, good grab from Ingerson. And won't he be valuable in the finals?
It was at the back of the pack. Caught it on his chest in the end.
Healy's got the footy centre wing, and he goes long towards half forward. In front, Lee's good place to be. Arnold from behind, still got it, tackled. Anderson with him, play on to advantage. So Lee's through the centre he goes, he puts it in high. Smith dealt with. Waterhouse in and out of the picture very quickly. A chance for Pyman. Ingerson lets him have it. Malachellis too high on Pyman. Williams with a chance. And I think my earlier call's probably the one that'll be paid.
Yes, Pyman taking his place on a half-back flank because Laird is out injured. Jimmy Wine starting in the middle somewhere, goes short to McKinnon. Half-back flank, needs a lead, gets one from Healy. Decides to leave Healy alone. In the meantime, he goes into a midfield area. There's a strong mark taken by Roger Gurdon, the skipper for Central District. Decides to play on. I don't know whether they can do that. Surely
that's
not.
That's ridiculous. That's 50 metres.
Umpire says play on. Anyway, West has got the footy after a series of hand passes, and this brilliant player kicks from 50 metres. Long bomb by West. It hits the post. Big build-up by West.
How can you take a player from behind when he's got an uncontested possession, Michael?
Well, you can't, Neville. They are the rules, but I think what's happened is that Malachellis actually went to stand the mark from behind, but by saying that, he still was from behind, interrupted the kick, so it had to be 50 metres.
Okay, kick in over 50 from behind. Swert claims it and is paid. Stephen Swert There's a big influence in the finals coming. He's vice-captain, and 158 games today for him. Fiachi close to the line. Cook's with him. That's his immediate opponent. Down they go. That was Darcy. This is Fiachi. He's caught with a footy. Lovely tackle, wasn't it? So, plenty of heat out there at the moment, bodies to body. And a fair bit to be gotten out of this game for both teams psychologically. Played a couple of times this year and pulled out a win at Footy Park by 68 in round 5, and the Dogs in round 14 at home by 95. So I suppose you'd like to go in the finals 2-1, Mark.
Oh, absolutely. Central District on top, Port in 3rd position. Last time they met, Peter Green and Schwerton Wakeland kicked 2-2 apiece for Central District. Peter Green's already been reported in this game. Healy, Wind, in trouble. Gets around a number of oncoming Port Adelaide players. Now the whistle has blown.
It's a soft free kick. That is standard. What's happened is that Wind has got the ball away. Melikelis has just grabbed him and pushed him away, and they've paid it for hanging on.
So no real advantage there, was there? There's Wind's kick. Travels about 30 metres. Up goes Mead. Takes a strong grab after taking 2 bites at it from half-back. Decides to feed to Anderson. Anderson goes into the midfield area. Poole from half-back up toward half-forward. Almost Carter. Lee hustling and bustling. Good player, isn't he, Lee? Port Adelaide will lead in the race. They've got a big chance here. Melikelis spins around, does well, boots it towards centre half forward. All Central District though. Reimers gets it back to Wine and away they go.
Yes, this is Lee through the centre of the ground. Players throwing arms around pretty loosely today, and I'd be very, very careful this close to the finals. Both these teams set for a big final series. Absolutely disastrous to lose a player this close in, and the Commissioners won't take any notice of finals. They'll see it as it comes. Carter back of the pack. Has a bit of a look, pops one up in the air. The kick is okay to find Wilson. He's got plenty of space, and North East tells him just that. And the youngster puts it towards centre wing. The kick puts Melikelis under pressure. West is under pressure there as well. A charge. Potter has to get rid of it, and the umpire will bounce centre wing.
Good defensive work by Lee. Punch from behind, had the sit, did the discipline thing, the percentage thing.
1-3 Port Adelaide. Central District yet to score. Paul doing the ruck work, and big Brian Hereda for Central District. Anderson's got the footy. They've got Anderson, Gurdon. Quick hands, does well. Healy, the left footer. Drop punt down ground towards someone at left half forward. This is Wakeland. Good tackling. Port Adelaide well at the body at the moment. Carter's there, and so is Peter Green. And there'll be a throw in at left half forward now for Central District. They have a chance here. They're well into attack. Mead, a mighty knock, out of bounds again.
Yeah, so with an uncontested possession like that, Mead might have been better to have taken that ball and or placed it. Just knocking it out of bounds, no real advantage in doing that. Got to get it out of this knockout anyway. So pretty emotional game to open. Anderson in there fighting hard in front of the Port members. Gurdon with him, and hasn't he played some football? Roger Gurdon, he's the skipper. Bullied to this game already, had a few pretty heavy knocks, Roger Gurdon. Cook sends one in high. Opportunity now for the Dogs. Wakeland with the crumb. Back of the pack, nice take. Ambrose, Lees, sidesteps Conway pretty well. Scott Wilson, space, gets into space well, doesn't he, when he decides to put his head down and run. The half volley, pull at half forward, Waterhouse. Pretty tidy, gives Smith the opportunity, almost. The crumb is from Spiro Melikelis, and he's kicked his second point.
Well, fine experience from Darren Smith, bodied himself to perfection, got his hands to it, couldn't quite hold it. But Port Adelaide at the moment, just a little bit more intense, getting first to the ball, and the Doggies just a little bit rattled at the moment.
Ray Windsor boots it into the pocket. McKinnon is going to change direction again. Lee, oh, they've messed this up. Lee tries to keep it in play, then decides that the best option is to work it out. Was it deliberate?
Well, we've talked about that a lot of times during the year. Well, he knew he was exactly there.
But that just makes an absolute and complete farce of the rule.
Pretty obvious, wasn't it? Wind does just that. Wind's out of trouble, but the kick not a good one. Mead's got it, the giant ruckman for Port Adelaide. Too far out to score. Chips into the pocket. Good work. Malakellis. This is Tony.
Will be a danger to most sides in the finals race, this man.
25-year-old, has played 37 games. He's going to kick from just outside of 50. Tough angle. He'd know this situation, though. He would have practiced a few times during the week, but this time he misses.
So the Malakellis brothers having plenty of the ball.
Yes, they certainly do, along with Geneva. Prime movers in the Port Adelaide side. And also Port with Tyler out with a bruised heel, and Rowan Smith also. Got a bit of talent to come back into this side.
Pyman under pressure from Malakellis. Tony takes the mark nonetheless. His options are Ingerson or Green. He decides to go short though. He's got Lee on his left. And Scotty Lee punches one in. Ingerson now, they've crossed the line. Lee's very late and will get 50. Silly football. Here we go, Green and Lees. This could develop into anything. So Ingerson will get the benefit of this. And Green and Carter still arguing about it.
Well, definite free kick in that. A little bit too late. And some of these players have to be very careful as we see another blue on the outer side.
Just across the ground, and I just don't understand players throwing punches and getting into fights 2 games out of the finals. Undisciplined. And if they were to lose their spot in a final series, they'd be very, very sad boys. Ingerson. Lee's best kick from here. I don't think he can make it. Has a look short. He was well and truly offline. His kick was meant for Ricky McGowan or Conway. It was such a poor kick. I don't know who it was meant for in the end, but it's the only part of his game that needs a lot of attention, Ingerson.
1-5 for Port Adelaide. They've had 6 scoring shots. Central District haven't had a go yet. Here's Gurdon round the corner, looking for someone up forward. Carter caught there by McGowan. Breen's in there as well, who's been causing a bit of trouble in the early stages. West caught, gets away, does well, and so too did Healy, who just knocked that down, and eventually the ball trickled over the line.
Good work by West, intercepted very well by Healy, but shouldn't have shrugged that tackle. The Dogs have to be a bit more committed in that area.
Quarter 1-5, Central District yet to score. Been a tight game so far, but the Magpies should be a fair way in front, but the Malakellis boys have kicked 4 points between them.
The Dogs are falling, sorry Mike, the Dogs are falling down across half forward. Arnold there, and they really do need to play Ingerson, I would have thought.
Well, there's a free kick, surely. No, the umpire didn't see it that way. And George Fiarchi about to move the ball out of defence.
Fiarchi. Waterhouse. He's got plenty of pace, but he runs himself into a lot of trouble. In the back about 30 metres. Finally, he gets his right boot to it. He punches one towards half forward. Beautifully taken off hands by Darcy. The half volley, Tony Malakellis. They've got plenty of the football. He winds his way through brilliantly. He'll kick off 50 across ground. You won't see much better than that.
It wasn't that marvellous football. As I said, Malakellis very dangerous, Tony. And look at that. Gets up off the ground and drills Darren Smith, who's directly in front, 35 metres out.
So some beautiful understanding between Smith and Malakellis. Not much breeze to speak of. Straight face of goals from 45 metres. Darren Smith's done this plenty of times before. Good goal, Darren Smith. Well put, Malakellis.
Well, they've kicked 2, the Magpies. Darcy gets it on with a pick-up. Perfect example of getting down to the ball on the ground. Didn't keep his feet, but good enough to get up. Drills Darren Smith. And 7 scoring shots to none at the moment. It was a beautiful shot from about 50.
Magpies with a 17-point break. 2-5, Central District yet to score. Back in the centre, a couple of crunching tackles there. Chance for Harada. McGowan gets it out. Now Ingerson from the middle of the ground, left foot. Can he find someone up forward? He's looking down ground for Wakeman, couldn't find him. They've got a chance here, the Bulldogs. This is Gurdon. High kick, well offline, out of bounds on the fall. Northeast to take the free kick in the back pocket. So a promising sortie there, gone wasted. Darcy, half-back, chips it over the top, goes to the wing on the far side. Borlays comes infield a bit. Mead, the big ruckman for Port Adelaide, wheels around from centre half-back. Long bomb, good mark at the back, Hyman.
Yes, Port Adelaide putting the pressure on, and Central haven't really come up to speed as yet. They've been bullied a bit by Port Adelaide on their home ground, and that would be a concern. McGowan's kick's a beauty. It finds Swert. He's at centre wing. His kick's also pretty good. Mead's late as he gets to Arnold, but he manages, the big fella, to take it pretty cleanly in the end. He's outside 50, decides to go on quickly. Conway into space. Lees fills in the gap and did it pretty well. Wilson spins out of trouble. Clever football. Caught. Wilson again. Chance for Girdham. Fiarchi through. Pretty tough. Malakelis too high. Play on. Wilson. Bang, bang goes down. Healy throws one out. This is a Raider. Turns it around the corner. Wakeland. Kenny can't. Got the crumb. Handball's out. Jimmy Wine around the corner. Pressure and he's offline.
Plenty of pressure by the Port Adelaide defence, and they really are filling in the spots. The Dogs can't get anything clean, particularly inside the 50. And every time they do get it, a Port defensive player is breathing down their neck.
This is Lees. Goes long, 60-metre kick. Chance for Healy, runs into Poole like running into a brick wall. Malakelis had it taken away from him. Poole eventually gets a scrubber. West will be first there. Look at the pace of the boy. West gets the footy, but they do get him. Central District with the numbers. Pyman, West in again doing some hard work. Lee won't shirk the issue. Well done by Stephen Williams. Good to see you back, Stephen. Short chip pass is a beauty. You're generally very good with the foot. Daisy's the same. And West should bang it through from 25 metres and does. Good footy. Big footy there, Mike.
Well, Mark, I actually wasn't looking too much at the play. There was a brawl on the half-forward flank. There it is. We've got Waterhouse, and
It's madness. Absolute madness.
there wouldn't want to be any trial by video, would there, in this game? But anyway, Port Adelaide have got the score on the board. That's all that counts at the minute.
Well, from what I've seen, 3 or 4 players could be spending the September month, early October, watching all of this. That'd put him in the very, very silly class, from my point of view. Darcy. Anderson trying to break through, keeps tight. As you so often see, he gets the footy away. This is Smith inside. Geneva chance. It won't come back, or will it? I think it has, the skipper. Wouldn't he love that? Great goal, Maggies. Geneva's first.
Well, they're on fire at the moment, the Magpies. Good work by Anderson. Committed himself, followed up, got the short kick on. And the Central District players, look at that curve back, just inside the post. But really the Bulldogs very loose, and Port just running wild.
Well, they've dominated in the first 18.5 minutes. 4 goals, 5. 29 Port Adelaide. Central District just the one behind. Free kick the Magpies out of the middle. Carter runs through the centre and then goes very long looking for Smith over his head. Mark at the back is taken by Lee. Malakelis, Spiro standing the mark. Short chip is okay. McKinnon just charges away. Waterhouse tries to run him down. Lee's in front, should take it, does in front of Arnold, then gives it to his skipper. Short chip pass by Geneva. Waterhouse lost sight of it, got it again. He's very skillful. Now in the middle is Mead. Long bomb, looking for a teammate down ground, and he finds Malakelis. And this is Spiro.
Look at that, in front. And if you're a backman, that's not where you should be.
Spiro's already kicked 2 behinds. 4th game this year. Kick from about 45 metres, he misses. A behind.
Yes, wasn't a good kick. Scotty Lee just caught behind there. Really needs to check a little bit closer.
So Windsor, good job on Darren Smith. Sets Healy up a little bit. Ingerson came over the top to help off the ground Scotty Lee. McGowan to ground. Darcy's got him. Cook comes in to help. Herrera supervises. And we'll have a ball up over the far side of the ground. Centre wing.
McGowan coming back from the flu, and he's played most of his football, or his best football, in the centre. Why wouldn't you start him there? Is Alan Stewart trying something different as a lead up to the finals? And also Ingerson playing in ruck, but they've got nothing across half forward, and you've got Arnold playing there. So he can throw the side around, which he needs to do.
Yes, he's throwing it around. This stage of the year, as Wine finds himself in more traffic than you'd see in Hindley Street, it might be a bit risky to be doing it this time of year, but he's been pretty successful. He can't lose top spot, and he'd be happy with maybe just experimenting. Too high on Herrera. He'll take the free kick in the centre. The lead comes from Arnold. Lees is with him. It won't get that far though. Lees does well. This is Tony Malakellus. Well backed up by Lees. Swirt reads it well. Desperate stakes from both players. Swirt one out. Cook scatters one to Herrera, and to Green is pretty good. Good chip pass. The Port fans don't like it. McGowan goes to the far side of the ground. He wants Arnold. Wilson. Beautifully done. Good individual effort.
Yes, good work by the youngster. Bangs it up toward left half forward. Lee at the back. Scotty Lee, ever reliable, changes direction, goes to Potter. He's got Sewell if he wants him. No, he decides to go longer. Looking down ground for Wine. Got one a bit high from Georgie Porgy, Puddin and Pye. And Wine will get the free kick at half back.
No question, it was a little bit high.
Kick by Wine is an awkward one. Finds Pyman, who's playing on a half-back flank, taking Laird's position. Short chip is okay. And this is Arnold. At last he's getting in front because Lees has been doing very well. Arnold's kick is okay as well, and Wakeland on the end of it.
That's a best result to date coming to the forward lines. No contest with Wakeland, just slipped behind and gets an easy mark.
Difficult ground when you come into the forward line. If you've got a leading forward line, it's a very hard ground to get the space, and Central finding that now.
So Michael Wakeland, do they need this or what? It's coming back. He's missed. Can't buy a goal at the moment. Central District, they're 2 behinds. Port Adelaide are 4-6, 28 points the margin.
Kicked 6 last week, Wakeland.
Certainly did, and has been a live wire for the Dogs up forward. A beautiful lead, and normally a very accurate kick.
Not bad defence either.
Got plenty of talent.
Half forward chance, loose ball for McGowan. He slips one back to Swirt under pressure, pushes one in, but it's well read by Richard Ambrose. One of the better players last week in their win against West Adelaide. Over the top he goes. Geneva. Waterhouse. Reimers together. Free kick, Reimers. Don't get too much applause down here for giving free kicks to the opposition. Girdham, skipper point, skipper, gets around Geneva. Cook lets one fly into the forward line. He's found Arnold on a lead, and that's well put. So using the ball, chipping it forward, keeping possession, the Dogs at the moment. As I said, it's very hard to do on this ground. They finally open up the goal square. Mee puts one down, should have taken it. Malakellus can't control it. Anderson's there. Around the corner, a snap from Saywell. The crumb is Jimmy Wine. He want to hurry. He's under a lot of pressure. Wakeland sends one inside. Ridden to the ground. Surely free kick. Not so. Fiarchi. He won't give it up unless he has to. Carter gives it to Mee. They get out of trouble well. Good defence, the Maggies.
Oh, they just persisted, didn't they? They just persisted, and within a twinkling, the ball up at half forward. Scotty Lee trying to rebound it. Potter got one a bit high and didn't have the footy. Will get the free kick. Potter at half-back for the Bulldogs. You think they don't need a goal here. Craig Potter, the 29-year-old. He's got Lee short. No, decides to go longer than that. Good-looking kick up to left half-forward. Herrera. Carter. Good charge down by McGowan. Oh, Girdham got one off the ball there. The umpire didn't see it. Saywell sweeping through the left half-forward position. Green and Malakellus, and Green is ridden into the ground.
Good work. Nothing much in it.
Some good tackling from both sides. We're at half forward for the Dogs, with Arnold in ruck. Wind overruns it. Cook's got it. Fiarchi will be first back to it. Cook again. A chance for Wakeland. Ginniver gives it up to Malakellis, who runs one along the boundary quite cleverly. Wilson finally gets his boot to it. It's centre wing. Ingerson from behind. Big jump. Puts it down. Scotty Lee went out, in and out of the pack. Potter's there. Carter's held. Play on. Waterhouse in strife. Goes backwards to Anderson. He's got Borlase, or he's got Smith off the left foot. He goes for the ladder. Darren Smith close to the line. And the ball goes out of bounds. 4 goals, 6:30 Port Adelaide. The Dogs are just 2 points, and that's not the start Alan Stewart would have wanted, coming all the way from Elizabeth.
No, they wouldn't, and a perfect example of why Port Adelaide have that score on the board was then on the wing. Port had about 4 or 5 players to 1.
Outnumbered them.
Absolutely.
Minute at a time on. Another ball up.
He'll be a valuable player. Stephen Williams come finals time.
Yes, he loves playing in the finals, doesn't he? Half forward in the middle somewhere, ruck roving. Been a wonderful player for Port Adelaide. Here's Schwert, who's been very good too for Central District, mind you. As he goes across the face, that can be dangerous. It may be dangerous here. No, Gurdon got some support from Windsor, but they were outnumbered in the end. D. Smith not too happy about all of that. Not sure what he's particularly upset about. Oh, there's a free kick. It's going Central District's way. Short pass is okay. Out of defence they move it. Schwert underneath the scoreboard. He wouldn't want to look up because it says 4-6 Port. Central are 2 points. The left footer boots it toward the wing. Reimers. Uncontested mark, really. Bit of a lull in proceedings. There's Reimers' kick. Wakeland knocked out of the contest. Hereda at the back. And the whistle's gone and the free kick is going Wakeland's way. Bit of pushing and shoving there, Michael.
Good contest, didn't see much in it.
Here's Wakeland's kick into the pocket. Hereda. Started at centre half back, Brian Hereda. And now the big defender switches play, looking for someone at centre half forward. Ingerson was his target. Poole about to run onto the bouncing ball.
Gives it to Anderson. Anderson's got Malakellis, or sorry, West ahead of him in plenty of space. Has a bounce, he'll want to get rid of it. Saywell closes. Let's go towards goal. Great footy, Port Adelaide. Good goal, West. Now you know why he's a favourite for the Magarey medal. He's second.
Well, he gets hold of the footy 25, 30, 35 times a game. And the defence, that's where it all started. West finished it off. Good kick for goal. But their defence is tight and tough. And the rebound they're getting at the moment is setting a lot of their attacking moves up.
Second goal to West. Spectacular turnaround there by Port Adelaide. 5-6-36. Central District 2 points. They're languishing. They're in all sorts of trouble. We've hardly played a quarter yet. And they are completely shell-shocked as the Magpies are intimidating them in spectacular fashion. Cook out of the middle. Right half forward, Jimmy Wine, the ball passes him, chance for Big Poole. Almost got his head ripped off. Hand passes out wide, it's effective though.
Free kick.
Free kick going back, it's going to Lees in fact. He was the man that was involved in that little sortie. So Brian Lees from centre half back puts everything into the kick. Past the middle, knocked to the front of the pack. Carter knocks it back, Hereda gets his hand to it, Williams ties him up. Darcy. Reimers, back to Reimers, received it from Schwert, short pass is okay to McGowan, over the top to Reimers, so they're gradually building, but they're building from half back and making heavy weather of it, and Borlase able to cut it off.
Heavy weather, all right, just too many possessions maybe, instead of on this ground, just getting in, going a little bit longer and getting the players to do the work up around the crumbs. Back of the pack, it's all Port Adelaide. Waterhouse from 40. This is just a little bit too easy. Bangs away and he misses. Port Adelaide have got this game by the throat at the moment. And I'm a little bit stunned at the lack of response from the Dogs. 5-7-37. Central just 2 points.
Well, Waterhouse sitting at the back of the pack by 10 metres. How does the ball get there over the back?
35 points, the massive margin as Windsor Boots the ball long. Poole in the middle of a number of players. Potter just fumbled it. They're just not getting first use of the ball, and when they do, they are fumbling. Ginniver generally does something spectacular. The skipper, Pyman, who's having a torrid day so far on his half-back flank. He's been extremely busy. Daisy Borlase on his back, the last to get up. Port Adelaide by 35 points. Tough encounter here at Alberton for any side to come down, but in particular in this term, it's been all Port Adelaide. Schwert, Brian Hereda, out wide. It's quarter time. So what an extraordinary quarter of footy. We saw lots of fights and lots of goals from Port Adelaide. They lead 5-7-37. Central District at 2 points. The margin is 35 points. And you're watching all of the action on ABC TV Sport.
Second quarter about to start here at Alberton Oval. Port are 5-7-37. They ransacked the Dogs in the first quarter, 2 points. Roger Gurdon won the toss and went to left of screen. Didn't do him a lot of good. Not that there's much of a breeze to speak of. Beautiful conditions. 2 goals to Robbie West, 1 to Malachellis, Tony, 1 to Darren Smith, 1 to Tim Ginniver. And they're looking everything a final side, Port Adelaide. Tony and Spiro Malachellis have been in everything. Rob West has had plenty of the ball. Carter's been good, and the defence of Port Adelaide absolutely superb. This is Reimers. He's at centre half back. He pushes it towards half forward. Cook will be the crummer, but I don't think there'll be anything to crumb as Carter wraps up. Going backwards, it's beautifully taken. Mead. His spiteful first quarter. Lots of arms and legs thrown around, which surprises me greatly with only a round and a bit to go. Coming into finals, and both these clubs firmly entrenched. High towards half forward. Waterhouse up and down. A chance. The goal kicking shark Williams. And he kicks it from 30.
Stephen Williams back from injury, and as easy as you like, puts Port Adelaide 6th on the board. But how easy is this? The fly from Waterhouse. Williams all by himself, 3 metres off the pack, on his left, straight through the middle. The Doggies are in plenty of strife.
Well, I reckon this is the last thing Central District would need with the finals coming up very shortly. They've got the bye next week. 6-7-43 plays 2 points. The game not over, of course, but it has been an unbelievable start by the Magpies in front of their adoring fans. And let me tell you, there are many thousands here. Carter just caught too high there and will receive the free kick. Gives it to Anderson. An attacking hand pass by Anderson over toward Ginniver, who runs through the lines and then boots it up toward Poole territory, and the big man takes it, running the same way as the footy. So big Poole boots it from 65 metres, gives it a big ride. Borlase, Pyman there, and it's out of bounds. Scotty Hodges coming up after half-time. Happy to talk to you, Neville, about his performance in the reserves.
Well done, Mark. It'll be good to just catch up and see how that leg's progressing, how his fitness is, and what part he'll play in Port Adelaide's finals. He'll be a good get. Tyler out today, kicked 9 last week against West, so they're, despite all that, they've still put a pretty good forward line together. Mead, Smith, it's just too easy, far too easy. No resistance from the Dogs at all.
Beautiful kick. Smith 3 metres in front of Windsor. The Central District players at the moment are not committed. They are shell-shocked.
So they have a bye next week, the Dogs, and might have a bit of damage on their minds. He's kicked the goal, Darren Smith. It's his second. Port Adelaide have kicked 7. The Dogs have yet to score.
And Darcy again in the play. He's a beautiful player, disposes of the ball to perfection most times. Mead all by himself. And as I said, Smith well in front, and his kick for an experienced player like that was perfect.
Ball back in the centre, 7-7, 2 points. A major margin here to the Magpies. Early stages, second quarter. Jimmy Wine with a free kick in the middle of the Alberton Oval. Certainly need goals in the early stages here. Oh, what a spectacular leap. Almost the mark by Ambrose, couldn't take it. He's not hard to pick up. He's got long locks flowing in the breeze. Here's P. Green round the corner, misses everything. And the crowd love that. Peter Green way off line, was involved in a nasty incident in the first quarter and was reported.
And just have a look at the grab. Would you pay it? Well, I've seen worse paid. It's a great effort by Ambrose there.
Michael, I just put it to you that Central through Green and others opened up pretty aggressively. Do you think they misread what Alan Stewart means about being physical against Port Adelaide?
Well, there's a possibility, but you hark back to the grand final last year. Similar things happened, and I think they'd just get a little bit, what's the word, just
Intimidated?
Intimidated by the way Port Adelaide attack. And the opposition get their mind off the attack on the footy and put it on the player. And Port Adelaide continue to really have an attack on the ball. And that's what's happened today.
I mean, most coaches, when they talk about an attack on the ball, they really mean if it's between you and the opposition, you must win it. And where possible, outnumber them at the fall of the ball. I mean, that's being tough, and that's putting pressure on the opposition. This is pretty tough as they come through the centre again. Pretty tough for Central to do anything about it. Smith has got the free kick. And they look superb, Port Adelaide. Beautiful running. They're crossing the line. They're working well together, and they're using players ahead of them beautifully.
Well, it was a good kick. Well, there you go. Hark back to that mark just a minute ago. Ambrose, very similar situation.
So Darren Smith, he's got a couple. He's kicked 421 before today. And he's hit the post with that one. He has a couple already today. He's not a recognised full forward. He has kicked a lot of goals in his time. More sacrificing half forward, but he's not bad as he's not bad up front as the focus.
Well, he gets in front, and if it kicks on, he will not get it off him.
Scotty Lee to centre half-back. Reimers, Wine, had it stolen. Pull, ricochets back to Reimers, who runs the half-back flank. Another ricochet. This time it falls into the waiting arms of Darcy. Chip pass. Will it come off? No, it won't. Central District there in numbers. Stephen Williams has got the footy. They've got him. He won't let it go. And the umpire says it's holding the ball.
Well, he's committed himself. And initially, well, had two blokes at him, couldn't get rid of it, and was trying.
He was well packed tackled there, wasn't he? 3 or 4 of them attacking him. Here's Arnold, booting it off the ground is Wilson, who's a very promising youngster in this Port Adelaide side. Wouldn't he love to be playing in the finals? Fiarchi's done it a few times. Hand passes infield, a series of hand passes. I think that was Anderson who gave it back to Ginniver, and Ginniver boots it down grand to his skipper. Ginniver over the top. Fiarchi, chance now for West, inside 50. West from 45 metres, long kick. Misses.
Great work by George. Doesn't he love running out of defence?
He wouldn't have had a goal on his mind, Michael, would he?
Not at all, George. He's missing his sparring partner.
Yes, well, he won't get Delaney back this year. He's had a facelift well and truly, poor Roger, and very seriously injured with fractured cheekbones, broken jaw, the steel plates. He won't be able to go flying for a while. This is Williams. Beautiful goal earlier. The chip to Smith was good. Yeah, you should drop your heads, Darren. That was a pretty poor take as he put it to ground. He's been a star to date, though. This is Saywell. Dances around Wilson. Williams puts the pressure on him. The kick is towards centre wing, and it's beautifully taken by Ingerson.
Ingerson, who plays with the Crows, of course, goes infield, finds Jimmy Wine, attacking side of centre. Long kick, one-on-one situation. Good work, getting in front, Wakeland.
And that's what they have to do. All the first quarter, very slow into their forward setup. Allowed the Port defence to get back. That time, all the time in the world to Wakeland.
So Wakeland will kick from just inside 50. And he's missed. Dear, oh dear. Oh, he's got it. Oh, it must have come back. So they get their first Central District.
Bit of a win across the ground there. Ingerson is now playing at centre half forward. Jimmy Wine's done pretty well. It's a lovely kick. Would have been a little bit more out in front. And look at this, just sneaks back. I needed that.
7-9. Plays 1-2. So it took 8 minutes into the first quarter for the second quarter for Central to get their first goal, and Spiro Malakellus, who's been more than a mischief up forward, has taken the mark about 40 metres out. So Scotty Lee getting some instructions from umpire Tim Slavin, who replaced Jeff Jeans before the game. He'll kick from 45. Spiro not that confident that he can make the distance. I think he'll be very, very close indeed. He has a pop shot at them. Drifts a bit. Darren Smith's got front position. He can't quite take it off the ground. Jennifer's there as well, and Williams sees it over the line. Port Adelaide at home in front of probably 8,000 people are going to be very difficult. They lead by 43 points.
Pyman not in the best of positions there. Had to really back into the oncoming traffic. Would have been a courageous effort, and maybe Malakellus wouldn't have taken that.
2 goals to West, 2 to Darren Smith, 1 to Malakellus, that's Tony, 1 to Stephen Williams and 1 to Geneva. Spiro and his brother have kicked about 6 points behind them as well. Anderson applying the tackle on Saywell. And there'll be another ball up. Umpire Tim Slavin. Arnold out of the congestion. Close to the boundary line. Borlase runs after the bouncing ball. Carter. So they've got a big start. The Magpies have got a massive start here. Out of bounds on the full, that must have been. Chip pass by the centreman. McGowan gives it to Wind. Wind goes short. This is Reimers, half back at the moment. Belts it up toward right half forward. Looking for Wakeland. Ambrose with him. Good work by the big man. He's only a youngster, but he did very well. Gave it to his centre half back, Lees it is, and Lees delivers poorly though onto the wing.
Brian Lays.
That's Lays, is it?
No, it is Lees. Reimers, the ex-Richmond player. That's an half back for Port Adelaide today. This is Ingerson, number 57. He'll be handy through the finals. 10 games for the Crows this year. Ingerson on the left boot, puts it out in front of Wakeland. He's got him, and beautifully put, and a good courageous mark as Borlase almost trampled him as he dived for it.
Wasn't it a lovely kick? Right out in front. Good effort. Borlase just a little bit late there, but nothing in that.
So Darren Smith kicked a goal almost in the identical position after receiving the pass from Tony Malakellus in the first quarter. It was a lovely kick. It was Port Adelaide's second goal, and the Dogs lining up for their second goal as well. Number 9, he kicked 6 goals last week against the Tigers. And Central, they've won rounds 20, 21, 22 and 23 on the trot. The second lot of 4 in a row they've won this year. Rounds 1 to 4 they did the same, and that will help them to win round 24 because they've added just 1 point to their score, and of course that's always
Won't
moving
that
forward.
help them?
That'll help them a lot.
That'll get them right back into this game, that behind.
Well, that's cut the deficit right back. Well, a costly miss there. Unbelievable. I thought he'd missed earlier on. He got the goal. We thought he'd got a goal then, and he missed. He can't win. Ambrose, well, we know that's Ambrose, that's for sure. There he is, booting it long and wide to the far flank. Saywell at the back. Fiachi is there, Ingerson is there as well. Cook, well charged down. Gee, they're relentless, the Magpies.
Oh, it's a Magpies of old, really. I know it's a cliche, but they really have come out, hit the ball hard, hit the player hard, and this is the best I've seen Port play in quite some weeks.
So let's get out and get them.
Throw in, far side, Mead knocks it to the side of the pack. Anderson trying to harass Saywell. Chance now for Cook. Forced to the ground. Green is there as well. It was Potter, in fact. Anderson trying to do something constructive. Look at that. Gets it away eventually. No, it only goes to Arnold. It's scrappy footy. Borlase has it held to him. And there'll be a ball up.
Yes, there will. And I would have thought that Central would have been a little bit more motivated today. Someone's very motivated. They've bought, but they've got the dog wrong.
Could have done with him.
It's more like a Bitzer, a bulldog. And they got some sound effects, and the dog's back on the ground again. So isn't this entertaining? It's a German Shepherd by the looks of it, just a pup. Good-looking animal. Was it a German Shepherd? Now, we need an expert on this. So, here we go.
Must be Meads, is it?
Darren Mead, he's going to take the dog off the ground.
Too many doggies on the ground.
Too many doggies. Maybe I'll have to count. So there's a change on the bench. Cotton's coming on for the dogs. Conway's off, and so's the dog. So 2 dogs off, 1 on. 7-9 Port Adelaide. They're hammering the dogs at home. 1-3. 6 goals, 6 margin. 42-point deficit to the dogs midway through this second quarter. They want to get a steam along. A bit more hard work.
That they need. And I think that interruption was about the last thing Central District needed. Darcy, Cook, Schwert, number 40, Ingerson, Mead, a big punch, Worth almost a kick. Waterhouse gathers nicely. He's had a pretty good year, hasn't he, Waterhouse? Swings it round the corner to Spiro Malakellus, who spills the mark. Big Brian Harada. Also there is Poole using his big body. And he gets a free kick, the big man. So Poole is 75, 80 metres out. It's a terrible kick. Falls well short, knocked to the front. Waterhouse again, a chance for Williams. What about that for a hand pass? Malakellus, this is Spiro. Long bomb to D. Smith, and he's taken a spectacular mark. Up goes the crowd.
Was in front, just one hand, tap it down in front. Thank you very much. I'm going to kick for number 3.
So is Darren. He's already got 2. Pretty well smack bang in front. Just listen to the roar if he gets this. Have a listen. 35 out, drop punt.
Well, didn't hear the roar, but it was a hand pass from Stephen Williams that was reflex handball. And the kid came to Smith and unfortunately couldn't bottle that one.
Port Adelaide have missed a couple of easy ones. Waterhouse had a set shot from, well, not a set shot, but a uncontested shot from 30 in the first quarter. Missed it, and that one from Smith. So Central can consider themselves lucky not to be further down the hole. Wind, his handball's a wild one. Out comes Carter, puts the hand up to defend Girdham. Wind again. Cotton. A chance for Archie, did that beautifully, didn't he? Oh, he's got Cotton too. And he wants holding the ball. Look at the grit on his and determination on his face.
It's a great tackle. And George, a new lease of life these last couple of weeks, particularly today. Normally he might have had a chat to the ump there.
Yes, pretty disciplined. Anderson, a quick one off the ground, gives the run to Port Adelaide. It's near centre wing, out of bounds, far side.
And why wouldn't you have a new lease of life? Port Adelaide back on track after a bit of a stint there where they lost 3 or 4. Playing great footy and
there we are,
looking for another premiership.
Yes, and there's the a great picture of the stadium. I would suggest 8,000 people have got into the park today at Alberton. It's fine conditions and everyone pretty well bathed in sunshine here, other than those that are in the grandstands.
Brian Harada with a big kick and a big mark taken by Anthony Ingerson. Changes the direction. Reimers, 65 metres out, let's go. Good kick in terms of distance, not the accuracy though. And he's missed that one to the right-hand side. Another behind.
Well, just to try something a little bit different. Good work by Ingerson. He's doing well at centre-half forward, and if Reimers could have just bottled that, it may have given them something to aim at.
Wilson takes a chance, comes off to Anderson. He loves playing in the local commando. I say he loves it. I'm sure he'd be preferring to play in the Crows competition or the AFL, but he is a class above them. Here's Lee, and Lee with a good kick inside 50 through the hands of a Port Adelaide defender. Redeems himself though. Mead does particularly well, boots it out wide, getting underneath at Wakeland. Their only real forward, Michael.
Has been to date. Conway we saw coming off, and Arnold started at centre forward, which really did nothing. They had to play Ingerson. Ingerson's starting to do something.
McGowan chips inside 50 and he finds Arnold. Can they make something positive out of this?
Pretty flat though, aren't they, really, Central? That whatever they're doing is coming at the expense of a lot of time. This is one goal only in 1.5 of football.
So Arnold, pretty well directly in front. What's he done with this? He's missed. Oh, do you think Alan Stewart wouldn't be ripping his hair out at the moment? 7-10 plays 1-5.
Well, I guess he's happy it's happening in round 23 and not in the second semi-final at Footy Park. So, dismal game to date, round 23 for the Dogs. Ambrose brings the footy back in. Up they go. Ingerson, who's on the ground.
Well, the last thing you want is this sort of preparation. Just say that the game continues to go this way and then have 3 weeks off and to come up in a final.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd do your confidence a lot of good to have to think about this for 3 weeks. Anderson, Ginniver combine. A chance as Wilson tucks it under his arm and disappears on the left boot. He tips it up the wing. Paul, good body work. The big fella gets the handball over the top, slips over Borlays. Healy's got him, looking for support. Decides to do it himself in the end. Puts it up once. Darcy's too late on the scene, and big Reimers, Big Hugh, got back there. I wonder if he drives a white BMW too. This is Windsor. His kick towards centre wing is good, but it will find the boundary line, and a lot of the excitement has gone out of this game. Central have got to make a game of it yet. They trail by 41 points. Ingerson in the ruck. Ginniver, too easy. Gets the boot forward. Williams, hand in hand with Pyman. Lee puts it up high. Oh, Cook disposed of too easily. And Wilson made that look just like a walk in the park. Wilson to Tony Malakelis. Ducks one and puts it in towards Darren Smith with a leap. It's been superb, Smith. Gives it off quickly to Spiro Malakelis, who's kicked about 73 points to date. And he's offline there as well.
And it's amazing what a bit of confidence does. Darren Smith's got that at the minute. Great grab.
He's in fine form, D. Smith, isn't he? Pyman's kick. Parader's been paid the mark, the big centre half back. I just get the feeling that they have held Port Adelaide in this term. I think it's, what, 2 goals to 1.
Well, that's a good feeling to have, Mark.
Schwert, well, they haven't gone on a rampage, have they, as they did in the first quarter? Otherwise, they'd be 10 or 11 in front. They might be able to mount something here. Schwert, McGowan gave it to him. Schwert boots it off onto the left foot, looking for Windsor, who appears to be playing up forward. Cotton down there as well.
No, you're right. Their effort has been quite a bit better than that first term.
Port Adelaide, though, have they kicked? They've kicked 2 goal, 3. They've had 5 shots at goal. Central have had 4. So it's only a matter of their conversions being a bit better than Port at the moment. They've made any dent on them. This is Wakeman. Comes out of it, gives it to Wine, who has a shot at goal. This would help. A point will, a goal would have been much, much better. Offline again, so they go along to 1 goal 6, and it's not the time to be offline. 22, nearly going on to 23 minutes into the second quarter, and it's been a bit of a boil over to date.
Northeast tucked away in the back pocket. Schwert stands the mark. Paul Northeast, who knows all about grand finals and premierships. He's been there and done it. So is his skipper. So is his back pocket. Ginniver gave it to Fiachi, back to Northeast, and Northeast then boots it out of the dangerous half-back area. Anderson lays it off to Northeast, ricochets, another chance maybe for the Bulldogs to turn it around. They're in there quickly, Port Adelaide. They could sense a bit of a turn on there, a bit of a turnaround. And there'll be a ball up in the middle of the Alberton Oval, bathed in sunshine, surrounded in with Port Adelaide fans, mainly Port Adelaide fans. Here's a chance now for Jimmy Wine. If he can get clear, he can. Gets away from Wilson. Wine into the pocket, and the mark has been taken by Peter Green. Listen to the boos. There they go, not quite as vocal as they were earlier in the term. Peter Green, we understand, has been reported in the first quarter for, you would think, striking. They need this, don't they? He's 50 metres out. Kicks long and strong. Not quite. Defence on full alert as far as Port Adelaide is concerned.
Not a lot of intensity at the fall of the footy, as they're not winning the ball at the packs as well as they should. Central, they're being outnumbered, and when it comes to finding a player when the opposition have got the footy, they've been hammered. Port Adelaide working their own ground and the space perfectly, and they've got the game by the throat. Unbelievable. The Dogs, minor premiers, they've a little bit of a disappointment today. Wonder if they can get out of this one. This is Wilson on the left boot, puts it in towards the centre. Healy's taken it almost one-handed, not quite. Darcy handballs backwards. McGowan does the chasing, but Tony Malakelis is a little swiveller on that left foot. He goes towards Waterhouse. He likes to travel backwards. He does on that occasion and finds Lee in support. The run from the defence has been brilliant today. Big stretch from West on that occasion. He couldn't quite handle it. A chance now for Waterhouse with him. Swern, he's under pressure, needs support. Lee got support left in Cook. He can go forward to Wakeland if he wants to. Chooses Girdham though and finds him brilliantly. They go on quickly. In space, Jimmy Wine. What's he doing out there by himself? Must have got lost for a little while. He's on 50. Puts it in towards the goal square and has kicked the goal. And all you can say is thank goodness for that. His first.
Well, he may have made it a bit tough for himself there, dropping the simplest of marks. And he had the big fella in pull to get round, which would have backed him in. Maybe the sun got in his eyes. And he just drills it through in the end. And the Doggies needed that one.
.52 plays 19. 45 seconds into time on. There won't be a lot of play left, as there's only been 4 goals scored in this, the second quarter, so half-time approaching. Poole does it easily. Ball lays up to left half forward. Waterhouse takes the mark in front of Reimers. Waterhouse gets on with it in a hurry. Bangs it down ground, looking for someone up there. Wins it, caught. Ricochets to Stephen Williams. Gets it back to Ginnivan, 35 metres out. The skipper has a pot shot at goal and he misses.
So 7-11 plays 2-7, and if Port Adelaide had been online, one wonders what sort of a thrashing would be being handed out here. Just a lot of easy goals. Pull underneath it, no contest, and it's a bit of a disgrace that. Central players just not getting there. Harada goes against Smith, brings it to ground. This is Wine, stays in the picture. Ginnivan stays over the footy. Someone's got a free kick, it's behind play. And it's going to the veteran Stephen Williams. Number 10 for Port Adelaide. Has 258 games, kicked 269 goals, and sends the footy forward to Waterhouse, who's received the free kick, much to the delight of the Port Adelaide fans.
Well, that is a disgraceful free kick. And the one before that, although they're putting their body on the line, so you're going to get
disgraceful.
The
what
first
meaning
option.
What? Disgraceful that it shouldn't
what
have
was the
been given.
free kick for?
Well,
Tell
maybe
me.
we can have another look at it, but the umpire was pretty close. If we can see it again. Hang on.
Let's have a good look at this. He's gone up for the ball.
Well, watch what happens.
Yeah, tell me. What's happened?
Watch him get pulled down by the arm.
Oh, garbage.
You're only about 600 metres away. This is Waterhouse. Should kick the goal. The young Birmingham star offline and out of bounds, not on the full. So, not acceptable really from that sort of distance to miss by that much. Be pretty disappointed with that. Mead pumps one into the square, hoping someone's there. Windsor around the corner. He's got Reimers if it sits. 2 or 3 grabs. Wine is the runner over the top to give Saywell the opportunity. He needs to sit. The ball will or it might not. Anderson's with him. He'll give him plenty of close attention here. They get through it though as Lee comes with support and goes to Wakeland, which is Green, I should say, which is pretty good in the end, and Green will shoot from 35 to 40 metres.
He's settled himself down a bit too, Peter Green, hasn't he, after that first quarter problem he had?
He has, and I'm sure that Coach Alan Stewart would have told him just to put his head back on his shoulders, get on with getting the footy, and he's done that. Beautiful play by the Dogs.
Well, I hope he enjoys this game because it might be his last for the season. 7-11 plays 2-7. They need this game and need it very, very badly. 40 metres, no real wind to speak of. Beautiful day here at Alberton. In he comes, Peter Green. And he is offline, and what the Port Adelaide fans just love that.
Not a good kick by the Chipmunk. I think that's what his nickname is out there.
Half-time here at the Alberton Oval. Let's have a score check. It's 7-11-53 Port Adelaide. Central at 2 goals, 8-20. And you're watching all of the action on ABC TV Sport.
Port Adelaide Football Club definitely back on track towards another premiership.
Very, very good first quarter. I thought that Central District held their own in the second term, but they needed to. 2 goals apiece in the second term, but it was a whirlwind first 30 minutes by Port Adelaide. Good to see Stephen Williams back too, one of the stalwarts at the club. Another bounce. Central District, by the way, kicking to the left of screen. Big crowd here, perfect condition, something like 8,000 or 9,000. They really can pack them in. I got here about 12:30 and at one stage looked like parking a kilometre or so away. High kick up toward Cotton territory. Cotton getting the free kick, so an important sortie forward here for Central District. Cotton at left half forward, 75 metres out from goal. Awkward kicking style, boots it down toward Wakeland. Couldn't control the mark. They need the crummers. Here's Ingerson. Needs to give it off. Chance now for Ambrose getting through the traffic. Does particularly well. High kick. Anderson's got his eye on it. Also Saywell. Saywell with a chance. Flicks it out the back. Cotton, no throw, says the umpire. Cotton's kick's good. And he finds McGowan. Didn't start in the middle, Neville, did he?
No, he didn't, and that's a real surprise. He's one of their real playmakers.
And just having a look at this, well, that's been pinged before.
Directly in front is McGowan, 35 metres. Good start for the Bulldogs. Great start for the Bulldogs. They get the first goal in the second half. McGowan gets his first. It's 7-11-3-8.
Yes, Ricky McGowan, number 23, had the flu last week. Missed that trouncing of West. And he's just scooped that out. Fortunately, the umpire was on the blind side. And McGowan, a beautiful kick. No problems. All live and well, I should say, through South Australia and the Northern Territory. We welcome everybody from that part of this magnificent continent. 7-11 plays 3-8, and the Dogs were very disappointing in the first half. Maybe this will be better for them. Mead gives it to Wilson. He sends one forward towards half forward. Underneath it, doing pretty well with Swerd. A chance for Carter. Gives up the footy, but gives it straight to Healy. It's a shocking handball. Wine gives it back to Healy, and the run is pretty good. He's kicking towards half. Beautiful take. Very courageous mark, that.
McGowan chips it into the pocket, and he finds Wakeland. So another sortie forward. Wakeland decides to square it. Is there a loose man? No, they converge on him. And the Port Adelaide defence on red alert, and they knock it over the line for a force behind.
This is where the Central's Football Club had problems early, particularly in that first quarter. They just bombed it into players that weren't in a good enough position. And Port Adelaide defence were very strong and tough and rebounded beautifully.
So they met on in round 5 at Footy Park, these two sides, and Port Adelaide got up by 68 points. The Dogs reversed it at home in round 14 by 95 points, so they've had one each through the year. Wilson props, gets around Girdham, not as well as he would have liked. Malakelis, that's a throw. The crowd yell it as well. Girdham and a Raider combine. Wait! Good footy, the Dogs. Or should I say, much better footy.
Well, it's more direct. Their intensity is lifted.
Wakeland's got wind, or should I say, Ingerson in space, and he looks like he's had a dressmaker to his jumper at half-time. Have a look at that.
New air-conditioned unit, that Neville. Looks all right too.
Yes, it's Saw a lot of girls in Cafe Pisano. Look, they're wearing that outfit today.
Fair enough.
7-11, 3-9. Won't have many more valuable shots at goal than Anthony Ingerson than this one. Not renowned for his straight kicking. It sounds like he's missed it if the Port Adelaide fans have anything to say about it. Offline, number 57, a very bad miss.
Well, it is a very, very disappointing miss as he changes his jumper. But he's not a renowned kicker or a good kick of the football, but you just have to kick those goals.
He just has to kick those, and it's not good enough. He's an AFL player.
That would have brought them back to 20 points. As it is, the margin is 25 points. Wilson hustling and bustling there with Schwert, who runs smack bang into West. Schwert just taking a while to get up. As you can hear, it's a Central District free kick because the crowd's gone quite berserk here, and Stephen Schwert will get a free kick at half-back. 158 game veteran, the 26-year-old, a very fit player, played at the highest level with the Adelaide Crows. McKinnon wants it short. It was too short though, and Schwert decides to go to the wing position. Up goes Reimers. Waterhouse bit high there, surely. Yes, it is on Wine. Well, that was pretty obvious, fellas. Gee whiz, I can't understand the crowd there.
Well, we're at Alberton.
Well, for heaven's sake.
Jimmy Wine, definitely too high. Got in the spot. And that's not having a go at Alberton, by the way, but
I think it's
their
fantastic.
supporters are...
It's all part of the culture.
Exactly.
Well, and they love it. They're unreasonable.
Yes, Potter's got the footy. Centre wing, right in front of us. Long bomb, inside 50. Ingerson's down there, wearing number 17 now, by the way. Here's Fiarchi bursting away from the back pocket. Pushes it into the middle. Lee getting underneath it. Good mark, Scotty.
Was a good catch, wasn't it? He doesn't waste any time as Reimers provides him with the flank, the running flank. Up towards Cotton. He came on in the second quarter. He's got to keep his feet because he's under a lot of pressure. Mead goes to ground. The assistance comes from Conway. They go backwards to Borlays. He props. He'll lose it. Good work, Arnold. Fiarchi supervises. Cook's there. First in was Ginniver, and he's got the free kick, and he deserved it. You don't agree, Mark? No, you don't. You're not going to say, though. Ginniver's kick's a poor one, but it'll find Malakellus. This is Spiro. He's kicked about 4 or 5 points at a lot of the footy. With his brother Tony, they've dominated in the small man stakes towards the 15-metre, and again it's Lee. He's been terrific at half-back or in the back pocket. Girdham slips. Ginniver had a chance for McGowan, but decided to go in himself. Oh, Waitland! Just a magical take. He gives it over to Saywell. He runs through 50 into the open goal, and he's kicked it.
We've got a ball game on our hands now.
He's first.
James Saywell off the bench, and aren't the Dogs fired up? And Roger Girdham started from the middle there, went to handball, knew that Tim Ginniver was going to cut it up, just stepped inside, set it up, and the Doggies, well, starting to fire up.
Well, they're right back in this, Michael. Right back in this. 34 players, 53. 19 points the margin, and there are a few Bulldog supporters here, let me tell you. They came alight then when Saywell ran into the open goal and banged it through. Jimmy Wind out of the centre. Whistle goes, umpire says play it on. There's Lee's big fist, bad bounce for most. Schwert had it, no he didn't. Malakellus out wide, a chance for Darcy. Has to stop and prop. As Arnold comes at him, Darcy bangs it up towards centre half forward, but Jimmy Wind is there, filling the gap superbly. Short kick into midfield, an opportunity now for McGowan, who bangs it up toward left half forward. Courageous effort there by Lees. He knew they were coming, but he held his ground.
Yes, they're one of the hardest ones to stay under. You know the whole world's coming down on top of you, but he did it pretty well. Wakeland was late on the scene and gave away the free kick. The kick is poorly put to the Port Adelaide forwards, and Reimer's big hands pluck it out of the air. He's gone short to Herrera. He's got McGowan. The kick is pretty poor though. He's put him under pressure from Wilson. Wine scrambles the kick from behind and puts it to Healy.
They've got the crummers now, Neville, haven't they, Central?
Well, they seem to be doing the work. I guess Stewart would have given them a real pasting at half-time. With the footy is McKinnon, Marty McKinnon, short, and he's got Cotton on in the second quarter, and hasn't done a lot, but enough, you'd say. Herrera, Wine getting plenty of the footy, he's gone. Holding the ball, they call. Beautiful tackle.
A beautiful chase. and a perfect tackle. It has been a great player for the Maggies.
Yes, excellent work by Malakellis. Here's McKinnon getting back, having to defend. It's just inside the line and then out of bounds. So throw in at half back now.
Well, it is unbelievable to see the Central Districts in this third term compared to their first term. A complete transformation of attack at the football.
Yes, a goal to Ricky McGowan, a goal to James Sable has certainly given the supporters some hope in this big game here at the Alberton Oval. Free kick to Poole, who gives it off to Anderson. Takes a bounce, has to go back.
Yes, they're a different team, aren't they? Made a decision to do a little bit more work.
Daryl Poole now decides to kick it long. Up goes big Brian Hereda. The intensity of this Central District side has certainly lifted. There are more crummers, they're working harder, and they look a better unit, and I'm sure their coach is a bit happier. Scotty Lee, one of the most experienced players in the league, goes for a run and then goes for a kick. He finds Ingerson. Long bomb, they're inside 50 almost. Gurdon was the target, Wilson there. McKinnon generally very good with the footy. Gurdon again running the wrong way, gets it back. McGowan, chip pass is okay to Cotton, and Cotton's got the footy. He's being harassed at the moment by Carter.
Good work by Carter.
Jared Cotton, the 19-year-old, chips to centre half forward. McKinnon, can they mount something from here? McKinnon decides to go long. Down ground looking for Schwert. Big Brian Hereda, he's going to have a pot shot from 55 metres. Offline, great mark taken by Ambrose.
Ambrose charges off on the left foot. Has a couple of players out there. Geneva, just a little tap. Volleyball tap to Darcy. A Polly Farmer handball to Borlase, and a magnificent kick by Smith. He goes on quickly. They've got players in space. Waterhouse, too high. Free kick, 40 metres.
And Waterhouse always puts in, gets in front. And the mistake there by McKinnon, just not getting the ball, the wind holding it up, and Port Adelaide just belting it out of defence.
What about the skills of Geneva? Magnificent to get it on, and the kick into Smith equally as good. He missed one from here on the run in the first quarter. Waterhouse hasn't kicked a goal as yet. No mistake with that. Exciting player, isn't he? First goal.
.43rd goal for the season, and look at the grab by Ambrose. Wakeland caught under the ball, and watch the tap on. If the tap didn't come off, they were in a bit of strife. He could have even grabbed it and handballed it, but it has. And the long handball to Borlase, and bang! Smith quickly on, and this man here has got plenty of skill.
Vintage Port Adelaide, 8-11-4-10, 25 points the margin. So that has stemmed the flow, but out of the centre once again, Cotton with a hand pass. He gets it to Schwert, back to Cotton, they're mucking around with it. That's okay to McGowan. 75 metres from the sticks. McGowan goes long, good mark. Malakellis was the flyer, but Jimmy Wind has got it. Some updates, Norwood over Sturt by 31. And South Adelaide over the Eagles by 18. Jimmy Wine, far side. 35 out. This is not beyond him. Kick is going to hold up. It'll fall short. Ingerson. Oh, here's a goal. Green. Peter Green's got it. And he lets the crowd know about it as well.
Yes, he loves doing that. Peter Green. He's kicked one. And the Dogs just getting back into this game. A little too far out. Good effort by Wakeland it was. Brought it to the ground. And Green, well, opportunist off the ground.
19-point margin. Nothing in it, really, when you start looking at how well the Dogs are playing now. Where were they in the first half? Sure, that's the question Alan Stewart was asking. Lee gets the punch away. The crummer is Smith. Gets one inside. Oh, beautiful work. Williams to Tony Malakellis. Deserved much better. He's offline. And haven't they kicked some points, the Malakellis boys? I've got them at about 7. Quite incredible.
And that one, too easy for an experienced player. Great work by Williams, just running into an open goal and should have drilled it.
Windsor Far side of the ground, Poole waiting at the back, hand pass beautifully, went straight to Schwert. Haven't made too many mistakes in the first half, at least, Port Adelaide. That wasn't a good one, though. There's a Cotton up in the air, couldn't take the mark. He's having a reasonable game since he came on. Jimmy Wine got it from Hereda. Jimmy Wine now goes long, one-on-one situation, up goes Wakeland. Here's Peter Green trying to get through Ambrose and Fiarchi, couldn't do so. It was like running into a brick wall.
Had nowhere to go, crumbed it beautifully, and that is a good tackle in the end. A lot of players would tackle too high, and Ambrose right around the arms.
30 metres out from the Dog goals. We're halfway through the third quarter. They'd love one right now. They're 19 points behind. Girdham works hard. Fiarchi, been a good player in defence. So too is Lees. He turns it on the left boot and goes towards half-back. It rolls towards McKinnon. He's caught by Ginniver. Great tackle. The pressure's put on by Darcy, who gives the Shepherd. The run comes to Fiarchi. Doesn't he love to run? He puts out the right hand and bulks the player coming at him. Loose ball towards Pyman. Pull there as well. And the Dog defender sees it over the line. It's exciting, isn't he, Fiarchi, when he runs out. The Magarey medal. Make sure you're with us on the 12th of September. It's live from Football Park Convention Centre at 8:30. We'll talk a little later in the program about what tips Mark Haston and Michael H might have, and Stephen Trigg and David Mackay. A chance now for Spiro Malakelis, the player I spoke about earlier. Puts one high. Waterhouse has got the sit. Bourlays couldn't. Good crumb from McGowan as he goes back to Cook, back to McGowan. They're under pressure. In fact, that wasn't McGowan. I think that might have been Windsor. This is Hereda. His kick's good. He's got Reimers. They're away, the Dogs.
Yes, Huey Reimers now setting something up from defence. It's an awful kick over the head of Cotton. This will be tough now. Cotton goes in, pushes a Port Adelaide player, Ambrose in the back. Girdham trying to do something constructive. Also to Ingerson, the umpire comes across, he says, I'm going to ball it up. Port Adelaide were away though, they don't like it.
Let's just have a look at this. It was Girdham, and in the end it was probably a throw.
Anderson gets it to Fiarchi, back to Anderson, scouting the half-back line, goes out wide to D. Smith, in front of Hereda, not Hereda, Reimers about 2 or 3 metres in front of him. Bad kick, Darren, because it's gone straight down the throat of Ricky McGowan.
Hasn't he lifted his game, Ricky McGowan? I wonder where he'll open in the second semi-final. Right in the middle, I would think. McKinnon gives off. Reimers, Swert. Now they're a chance. Green, plenty back there. Mead does well to provide the big man in defence. Green again, he's caught. Good tackle on him by North East. Mead backs up, gets a floppy punt kick away. It goes beautifully straight to, that was Wine. Chance for Cook. In fact, it was Hereda. He comes in now again. Girdham slips one. Swert, Lee, in traffic, gets one up high. Watch for Wakeland, he couldn't quite, gets the crumb, Cotton, open goal, the Dogs. They trail by 14 points.
Well, you can put that goal down to Brian Hereda. His second effort was second to none in the middle there. Went back up and got the ball. There he is giving it off to Girdham. A couple of quick handballs. And around the body was Lee. Wakeland for the fly. And a good handball. And the Doggies, well, coming alive down here at Alberton.
What about the intensity of this game in this quarter? We hope you're enjoying it all around the state and up in the Northern Territory. This is SANFL footy at its very best, 8-12 to 6-10. Only a couple of weeks away to the finals. And these two sides, first up against third, are going hammer and tongs. Malakelis is trying desperately to get something going out of the middle. Couldn't do so. Anderson in there as well. A chance for Jimmy Wine. Hasn't he come of age in this quarter? Opportunity for McGowan. Has to flick it back. They are doing very well. Pyman, kick to touch. It's close. It's out of bounds between the wing and the half-back line for Central District.
You've also noticed in this third term that the amount of times the Central District player is loose compared to that first half would be 4 or 5 times.
Yes, it's pretty hard as a coach to understand why teams are on or they're not on. Spiro Malakelis runs through 50. Chance, looks at them and kicks the goal. Pretty easy, really. Reminiscent of the first half. His first.
Well, it was easy in the end. I know it's easy to say up here, but what should have happened is they just should have come at him. They just let him run 50 metres, took 3 bounces and drilled it. As easy as you like.
He's got 1 goal for Malachelles. Should have had 5, possibly.
They've had a lot of the ball, and they've been one of the major reasons that Central have just struggled today.
So 20 points, 9-12 to 6 goals, 10. Just 20 points in it. Still anyone's ball game. Still Port lead though. Here's Girdham. Geez, a good player, isn't he? He's been around for a long, long time. He knows what finals footy and this type of footy is all about. Anderson doing some strong tackling. Whistle blows and the umpire says it is a free kick to Central. Anderson taking a while to get up. Potter out wide, half out on the wing on the far side. Reimers, Wind, well in front of Darcy. Wind decides to square it to Wakelin. Up he goes. Couldn't take it. Chance now for McGowan. Gets it over the top. Wakelin again, working hard. Wind, geez, in everything at the moment. McGowan caught. Needs someone to give it to. Couldn't. And in the end, Darcy will whiz it away.
Great pressure, Port Adelaide. They just keep working at it until they force the error. Over the top of the ball, Borlase is being held. Marty McKinnon doesn't like it, but well, he didn't have possession and he did have a hold of him, so the umpire was right on that occasion. Darren Smith, who's been terrific at full forward today. Olsen on the ground, turns one around, a chance for Waterhouse, but Windsor sees it through for a point. So they've been very unfortunate this year, Port Adelaide, in not being able to settle a forward line down. They've got some fantastic and volatile goal kickers in Olsen, Waterhouse, Tyler and Hodges, but getting them all on the ground at the same time is very difficult.
Windsor to Saywell. Did he get a hand to it before it went out of bounds? No, he didn't. It was close.
Look at that.
Well, looked as though it was well out, didn't it? So Port Adelaide to bang it in again. This is Olsen. Will kick from about 52 or 53 metres. There's his kick. It's long, indirect though, and it's through for behind. So the margin 22 points.
Greg Anderson just coming off the ground. Richard Foster on and hasn't had one of his biggest days.
North by 22 points over West Adelaide at Footy Park. Norwood by 46 and Sturt losing many games on the trot. South by 19 over the Eagles, and they need that one. Stephen Williams looks on, and he should play, I should say, a very important role in Port Adelaide's 27 millionth final campaign. They've been such a fantastic constituent of this local competition. Harada and Waterhouse together. Too high, says umpire Slavin.
I thought it was in the back wheel before that on Harada.
Here's the replay.
What's that?
It's in the back, isn't it? Umpire would love to have the benefit of a look afterwards. Jennifer, not so sad. You can take a joke, Tim, and you can hand them out as well. Saywell, sure. It's a character. Timmy Jennifer.
It's a daisy.
Malachelles, interference, turnover. Centre wing. Bad football, Dogs. He's smarter than that.
Yes,
into the forward line.
Craig Potter didn't really need to run into Malachelles whatsoever. Good decision by the umpire there.
What price common sense in a tough final? I mean, you just can't afford it, can you?
No question. All you've got to have your head on your shoulders, be disciplined, know exactly where you're at. You attack the ball and forget about all the rubbish that goes on with it.
22 points is the lead.
He'll have me playing in a minute.
Here's Lee. Way to the far side. Schwert needs a good bounce, gets it. Borlase comes at him. Schwert needs some support and gets it. McGowan back to Schwert. This will be awkward. Schwert's got it again. He's got Darcy coming out after him now. He's run a long way, Schwert. High kick. It was meant for Cotton, but Ambrose getting back, filling the hole.
Pretty ambitious.
It was, and that's why McGowan is a good player. He saw that Schwert was in plenty of trouble, had nowhere to go, so he had to actually, instead of running back, had to run to him and get the handball.
They switched the play, Port Adelaide here. Almost a mark there, taken by Girdham. He can't believe it hasn't been paid. Reimers, chip passes all right. Wakeland's had to come down a long way to get his kick. He's on centre wing now. Chips it down ground for Ingerson. In front, wearing number 17. Saywell in trouble, but got the hand pass away to Cotton. Can't get over his kicking style. It's a high kick. Green down there with North East. Well done by Wilson. Reads the crumbs brilliantly.
He does, and great support to make the effort to get there as well. A chance now on the far side for Geneva. Puts the body into McKinnon and sees the ball out of bounds. Not happy with it, but wouldn't be disappointed with his game to date. He's done a lot of work and had his share of possessions. He's tireless and he's a great leader. Port Adelaide at home by 22 points. Made song and dance of it in the first half, having to work a lot harder this quarter. Harada caught by Smith. Potter caught by Olsen. A chance now. Pyman gave it to Girdham. Back to Harada, and they'll go towards centre wing. Borlays, the crumb beautifully taken. McKinnon, he's on the run. He has a look up. He wants Wakeland. It won't get there in one hit. He has to go against Mead. Beats him 1-1. Slips and has to pummel back to McGowan. A chance for Ambrose. Loses it in the heat of things. This is McGowan on his hands and knees. Gives it to Wakeland. Beautifully done. Good quick turn of pace. Sends it in long. He wants Ingerson and he's got him.
Well, they're making tough work of it at the moment. They're getting the ball into the forward line enough, but they're not direct. And on this occasion, good work by Wakeland. Saw Ingerson sitting there, and a good grab in the end. And he was there about 10 minutes ago, same spot, and missed.
It just must make these count. This would really hurt Port Adelaide at the moment. What's the margin?
22.
22 points. Valuable kick. Time on. Third quarter. Ingerson from 30. He's kicked the goal. He's given them a chance. His first.
And McGowan doing a lot of good work. Jim Wind in this quarter as well as getting plenty of touches. Nearly legged there. Some would say he was. And Michael Wakeland. Plenty of talent too. So the Doggies still not giving up here.
16 points is the lead. This has been a mighty comeback by a side that looked totally outclassed and out of sorts in the first half, particularly the first quarter. Mead and Arnold doing the work. Oh, Cotton took a chance there. Foster onto the ground for the first time. Pushes it to centre half forward. Out come the Central District defenders. Geneva grabs the footy and the umpire will come across and ball it up.
Arnold in ruck has lifted his game, particularly in the centre square, and just getting on top of Mead.
Yes, it's been good, hasn't it? Certainly helped them out of the centre, but they've been forced wide on a number of occasions. That's made it awkward for them. Potter, high one, not a lot of distance in that. Cotton, no. Oh, there's a good mark. No, it didn't go the required distance. Olsen dropped it anyway, and it's a stalemate again.
So another goal before half-time, or three-quarter time, would really make this an interesting game. We're live throughout South Australia and Northern Territory. And we welcome you to ABC Sport, exclusive with the SANFL product. And we've got a great game on our hands today. It's skittled Ingerson and Ambrose, but not me. He bounds out of defence. He's been a good player today as he puts the ball in towards half-forward. Malak Ellis couldn't take it. His brother Spiro can, though. He's only 30 out. He's got to kick the goal. Not quite as Windsor gets back on it. Dangerous around goal. Dangerous as you like.
Desperate lunge. And he has been 6 or so shots for goal. And Windsor just getting back. Metre inside.
Scotty Lee, experienced, out wide. Ball just sits. Didn't move there for a couple of moments. Borlays receives the hand pass. Just makes a bit of a mess of it. It was a bit low for him. Cook over the head of a number of players. Over towards centre wing. West, who's high up in terms of a McGarry medal chance this year. Wilson, so they turn it around. Well inside 50, big pack into the air, almost Waterhouse going in with the feet, trying to kick it away, and I think it might have been a kicking in danger there, and Reimers a chance now to relieve the pressure. Big Huey Reimers, well and truly in defence, boots it out wide, Swert out there, and it's knocked toward the boundary line. Got some updates here now.
Yes, North Adelaide by 21 points, and that'll set the final 5 if that's the result tonight. Norwood by 53, and South Adelaide over the Eagles only by 11 points to date, and a 17-point margin in the game at hand. Girdham runs off of centre wing. His kick's a poor one though. Expect a lot better from him. Straight to meet. Around wind. Takes him on and beats him. The left foot. Oh, the kick is good. He raffled this between Carter and Olsen. Off goes Carter. He's on 50. Off the left boot and well offline and out of bounds as the siren sounds here at Alberton Oval.
Three-quarter time. Let's have a score check. It's 9:15. Port Adelaide, they're 69. Central are 7:10, 52. 9:15, 7:10, 69 to 52. The Magpies kicking to the left of screen, and Central District are well placed now. They have made a big surge, a big run in that third quarter. Cotton knocks it on up toward the half-forward line. So already Central District into attack. Ingerson wearing number 17. Ambrose wearing number 18 for Port Adelaide. Cotton on the end of that one on the outer side wing. He'll put Central District into attack again. He wasn't sure whether to hand pass or go by foot. He decides to go by foot to Big Arnold in the middle. He goes out wide to Reimers. They've got a bit of a chance here, Central District. Long kick by Reimers. 2-on-1 situation down there for Wakeland. He was never in the contest. He was caught at the back. Lees gives it to a teammate, and that is Darcy. Back to Lees. Lees at half back up toward the wing over the head of Daisy Borlays. Here's Darcy again. He crashes into a Central District play. Gets rid of it though. Spiro Malakalis right in front of us. He's putting on a show. Left footer. Borlays having to get back, and also Waite, and also Windsor. Windsor kicks it out. It ricochets back. Wines, who had a very good third quarter. The ball out of bounds.
Well, Malakalis had half an hour to get rid of that. The tackle on Darcy was beautiful. And there he is going back and forward. Plenty of the ball. Just a bit of a smile. No one wants to touch him.
Yes, he was on a gee whiz, wasn't he? Didn't know which way to go. Who and by how much?
Well, I'd have to back Port to this stage. I know the Dogs are coming home with a bit of a wet sail, but I just think that they're too far behind, and every time the Dogs seem to get one, Port managed to get one just to settle the side of it.
So Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide in one word, two words.
And how much?
How much? 24 points.
Thank you. Didn't take long. Mead close to the boundary. Smith in there, taps it brilliantly out to Geneva. Forward they go, the Maggies, in front of their home crowd. They just love it. Borlays, placed tall, brilliant. Watch for Smith. Late on the scene was Waterhouse, and beautifully intercepted by Arnold. He goes across ground to Herrera. They might mess it up if they're not careful. Olsen, will he make him pay? The help comes from Saywell. Beautifully done. Pyman's the backup. No one is obvious. He has to go long. Straight down the throat of Carter in the end. Cotton should have made more for him to kick at. Went the wrong way. Need assistance. Not forthcoming. West gives it to Ambrose. They look all right, the Magpies, when they support each other like this. High was Arnold. He got the ball away from Olsen. Saywell gives it to Girdham. Oh. Whoa, take that. Pyman.
Malakalis again.
Tony Malakalis, great tackle.
Yes, and West has got the footy, but not for long, because he set sail for goal in front of the goal square. Waterhouse, bang, goal. Second goal to Waterhouse. It was a big mark, and he played on. 75 plays 52.
Well, that's what the Bulldog needed. And look at that tackle by Malakalis on Pyman. In front, Waterhouse plays on. You'd like to have him just floating around the half-forward pocket line.
Well, that's pretty much what he is doing, isn't it?
Yes.
Good.
Well, it is, but I'm saying, okay,
expert.
Some of the other sides would like that.
Oh, okay, I'm sure they would. Put Adelaide at 10-15-75, Central at 7-10-52. You're dead right, Michael. He's a good player in that he's tall, he's athletic, he just loves kicking goals, and when he comes into a game, he's electric, isn't he? Lifts everybody. A chance now for West, one of their best as well. Handballs it out. Smith's in the box seat now at centre half forward. Down goes Sable. Good tackle. Chance now for, was that Darcy? I think it was. This is Geneva. He's been a good player today too. Out in front, but Lee will chop it off. He's on the 50. Sends it back towards centre wing. Now they're a chance. Jimmy Wine, he's in plenty of space. Has a look as West closes. Oh, the chip's a shock. I don't know what he saw. Maybe the sun. Chance for Carter. Cotton's there. Carter's on his hands and knees. Wine goes back to help. Ingerson's there as well. Smellikellis. Out comes Ambrose. Straight through. Excuse me. Pulls there. Says keep going, son. Chance now for Geneva. He doesn't want to stop. There's a chance for Cook. He's got Carter around the neck. No free kick. Darcy goes left. Pulls the player he wants, but West will be there first. He's got players through the centre and he's got a lot of pressure on him. The kick is a magnificent one. He finds Spiro Malakellus. He gives it on to Wilson. Wilson back to Foster. You got him caught, son. Good back up, Spiro. Kick a goal, son. He's about 50. It's well smothered. Waterhouse will be next on the scene. He's clever. Inside, too high, Olsen. Great tackle, Windsor. Holding the ball. Good footy, the Dogs.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? Porter,
What's
Adelaide,
the commentary?
weren't they persistent? McGowan takes a spectacular mark. He knew Foster was coming at him. Almost, he might have cramped up a bit here. That was unbelievable footy. Pressure, pressure, pressure. So Ricky McGowan, what about the effort by Malakellus? Deep in defence, he just doesn't know what to do with the footy. Eventually he goes out wide, some indecision, and as a result D. Smith takes it. Now Carter from 60 metres bangs it toward ball A's. It ricochets off a Central District defender's head. Chance now for Harada. Long kick into the midfield area. George Fiarchi gets it to his captain. Geneva from the middle of the ground. Short passes on is very good. And the mark has been taken by Foster. Foster 85 metres from goal. He's going to go direct, you would think. Taking a bit of time, then let's go. Who's he looking for? Is it Olsen? Up they go, a crash of bodies. Lee, under pressure, gets the kick away eventually. Here's West. Jimmy Wine with him, gives it to Waterhouse. Very exciting. Round his shoulder, misses. But it is exciting footy at the moment.
It is exciting, and he knew where the two big ones were too, Clive Waterhouse.
Yes,
didn't have to look, and didn't miss by much.
Could have easily have gone through, couldn't it? Plenty of pressure out here. Let's see what's happening over the border. Last night, the result we've already had, but 31 points. Well done, the Crows. The Tigers over Collingwood by 54. Bye-bye, the Wobbles. North Melbourne over the Hawks by 45. And Footscray over the Cats by 15 points. Well done, the Scraggers. St Kilda over Fitzroy, 27. So they'll be happy with that. But the real news for us, the Crows, a great win. Took the pressure off just a little bit. A chance now for the Dogs. They need a bit of luck. They won't get it now. This is Lee's. Fiarchi. Plenty of pressure out there. They're both teams putting it on. And Foster will hold up play. Only to wait for George to come through. He's run up the ground. He'll get it back again, George. He'll go for a run. Have a bounce. He'll keep running, or won't he? He'll go back. The kick is good. He found Spiro. In fact, that's Tony. Around the corner. Waterhouse. Waterhouse.
6 metres in front he was of Windsor.
Well,
It's hard to get in front of him. He's that quick.
There's no question that Tony Malakellus is the best on ground to date. Look at that. Around the body.
Waterhouse has hooked his kick just a little bit. It's in front of the square, and Martin McKinnon sticks up his hands and plucks one out. They need a runner. He's taken off on risk. He hasn't got one. What's he going to do? Go to the boundary? No, he's found one. Just not running to the vision enough, the Dogs. The real work has to start now. The real work is to put your head down and get the legs running. Get it there for numbers and get it there for support. Wakeland can't control it. 76 plays 52. The margin is 24 points.
Getting plenty of the football in defence, obviously, of the Dogs at the moment, but nothing going up forward. No movement whatsoever. Very difficult to create anything.
24 points the margin. I guess the big news from the AFL point of view with Richmond beating Collingwood is that it still gives Adelaide a big sniff now. Here's Cook. Wine was the man who gave it to him. Cook's kick is a beauty. Pinpoint to Peter Green.
Slips catch.
Stretched every fibre there, didn't he? Way over on the far side, has kicked a goal and has been reported. Long kick, misses, offline. 23 points the margin. They're still in this. Watching all of the action live, right around the state and up in the Northern Territory.
26 shots Port Adelaide. It's the 18 shots Central, so they've had more of it in front, and their conversion rate probably about the same as a little under 50%. The Dogs maybe just a smidgen better. Opportunity for Conway, goes to ground. In fact, that's Marty McKinnon, and we'll have another ball up. Port Adelaide had an up and down season, but they strung 6 together between rounds 5 and 10. The Dogs' best has been 2 lots of 4 consecutive wins, rounds 1 to 4 and 20 to 23. And that's been put to an end now. Next best to Port this year was North. They had 5 on the trot between 8 and 12.
Watching Brian Cunningham, the Chief Executive of Port Adelaide, in the grandstand. He's biting on his budget. There's not much left of it. He knows that his side is in front, but they are vulnerable. Peter Green's taken a good mark up in front of his opponent. Green plays on quickly, kicks to the front of the goal square. Girdham couldn't hang on. He's going to get a free kick.
Oh, no.
Free kick to the Roger the Dodger.
Well, he made position. And no mark, in my opinion. The umpire's paid it. Let's have a look. Obviously, there's a 25-metre or 50-metre penalty. And
a little bit more action there than we might have brought to you.
Well, Roger should kick this one, shouldn't he? And we believe there has been a report. There's the kick, there's the goal. And we'll endeavour just to let that vision go on a bit in a minute, just to let you see exactly what happened. Okay, so we do understand there may have been a report. We're not sure who it was. Let's have another look at this, Michael.
Girdham always puts his body on the line. Play on. Umpire's caught it as a mark.
There's nothing reportable there, is there?
Well, nothing in that passage of play. It might have been just off camera. So the Dogs still in this.
17-point margin. 10-16, 8-11. Plenty of time. And a pretty excited crowd. Mead from right of screen. He's beaten by Arnold on this occasion. Girdham, good tackle, winds in there, works hard, chance for Swerd, off the ground, son, can't get the boot to it. Darcy desperate. And they've picked up a couple of good players, haven't they, Port Adelaide? Darcy Wilson, the former West this year, has been absolutely sensational. Spiro and Tony Malakillis have been very good players. Jennifer today's been absolutely superb. And Lee's defence, Fiarchi in defence. And Paul's held his own around the ground, so good balance. Port Adelaide, Cook, left foot, out in front. Green, doesn't sit for him. Northeast, happy to see it over the line.
A couple of tough customers there.
Northeast and
Green.
It's all right, there is, and make sure you stay tuned. After the game, we'll just go down the coast a little bit. David Mackay and Stephen Trigg will unwrap a bit of the North Adelaide and West game for you.
17 points is the lead to Port Adelaide. It's in the attacking zone for Central District. Not sure whose boot that came off. Margin now to 16 points.
Anybody's game.
Oh, yes, very much so. They've really pulled back, haven't they, Central?
So I'll ask you, who and by how much?
I think Central can win it. I just have a feeling that Port Adelaide may just start to run out of legs. I know they've got the advantage of the home ground here, but I just get the feeling they might run out of legs in the last 10 minutes.
Okay, so we're split there. Chance now for Foster, is in the box seat. Kick's not good. Potter puts it out of bounds, centre wing. So Port Adelaide have led all day. They opened with a 35-point margin in the first quarter, kept it to 33 at half-time, and it whittled away to 17, and it sits about just that right now. In fact, it's 16 points. Centre wing. Reimers, or Arnold I should say, against Mead, who got the knock, pull, slick. Tony Malakillis, best on ground in Michael Aish's view. I wouldn't disagree.
Hello, watch out here. Lee and
Scotty Lee and Darren Smith have a bit of a laugh about it. Good mates from Crows days, and talking of Crows, Greg Anderson sits there with a veteran, Stephen Williams.
Pretty handy bench. Have its score check. It's 10-16 to 8-12. 16 points is the lead to Port Adelaide. And Brian Cunningham now doesn't have any of the budget left at all. Paul Darcy gets away from Lee. Spiro Malakellus. Well, storming away from the defensive zone there was McKinnon. A series of hand passes has Schwert away. Good kick to Cotton. He's been a little quieter in the last 7 or 8 minutes, Cotton. Smack bang in the middle of the Alberton Oval, bathed in sunshine. Wonderful conditions for footy. 7,000 or 8,000 here. They generally pack them out. They need a mark. Peter Green is at the back. Mead knocks it cleverly. Carter decides to run it out himself. He's got a loose man. It is Foster. And Foster way over on the far side on the outer wing.
Lees gives it back to Foster and he's away now. He tried to go on with it a little bit quicker. He had a player free upfield. That was Ginniver. McKinnon's got him now. A chance for Girdham. Gets the handball away to Sywell. In turn to Cook. They're okay now. On the left, Cook. He puts it up towards half forward or just past the wing. Oh, up a bit early, Wakeland. You get away with it, though. He did do it well. Puts it in. The kick's a shocker, though. Kicks it straight to Mead. He wanted Conway, but it just didn't carry. Need to be a lot better than that. This is ball A's. His kick's well put to find Smith. Been one of the best today as well, I would say. Wilson gives it off to Poole. He's in a little bit of strife, has to run out of it. Gets past Girdham and gets the kick away.
Yes, a good long kick, about 40 metres, but it is plucked out of the air by Arnold. Lee in trouble. Oh, well done. Good tackling there by, who's that? Foster, is it? No, it was, I'll pick him up in a minute. I think it might have been Olsen, actually. It was an excellent tackle. They've turned it around. Here's another good player. That was Waterhouse. What about West? McGarry medal favourite. Bangs it through. Well, one of the favourites, but he's certainly got the goal, West. And he gets his third. 11-16, 8-12.
And the mistakes can be so costly. The Bulldogs just had to get it out of defence and they couldn't do that. A good tackle on Pyman by Olsen. And it was holding the ball. And Mead, well, gets it on. And the run of West, Malakellus.
But Michael, the kick from Wakeland. Wakeland's got to kick it 30 metres to find the player. He kicks it straight to Mead and they kick a goal.
Well, they've been doing that for most of the day. They started with Arnold at centre half forward. That didn't work.
Just rip your hair out. I mean, he's a great player, Wakeland, but under pressure, you've just got to find the body. Marty McKinnon off, McGowan on. You won't see him off the ground very often. He hasn't had the best of days. Might not be up to it today. Might have the flu or something. Didn't start in the centre. Here's West, open goal.
I think that's the blood rule, actually. They're just attending to his elbow, McKinnon, so he may be on pretty quickly, Neville. Norwood well and truly in command over the Double Blues. South Adelaide by 41 points over the Eagles. South Adelaide looking safe in the 5.
We know North Adelaide have got the jump on West at the moment. 82 plays 60, 22 points at Alberton. And guess who? George Fiarchi has a look, goes across the ground and finds Darren Mead. Play on's the call, northeast. The runner is Tony Malakellus. Best on ground by a mile. Underneath it, Carter, or West it was. Olsen punches one in. Waterhouse slips catch, drops it, gives the handball off. The runner couldn't pick it. Ginniver, is it? Goal. Well done, skipper. His second.
Well, they turn it on when they have to, the Magpies. A good effort by the Bulldogs to get back in that first half. Olsen's been on the bench. He's come on. He's got plenty of talent too. Waterhouse almost grabs it, but the backup by their run-on players. This time it's Ginniver. It has been Malakellus and West, now Ginniver, and he doesn't miss.
Well, the margin now out to 28 points. 16 or 12-16 to 8 goals 12. So it doesn't make my tip look too good. Northeast up toward Darren Smith territory. Reimers through Schwert's legs. This is dangerous. Schwerty goes in again. All Port Adelaide though. There's a tackle too high, Brian. No, that was definitely too high. And Brian Herrera erring there. Daisy Borlase to get the free kick. goes in short, extra short. Mead. They've just stopped this run of Central now. Oh, good kick by Mead. Olsen again, he's proving a real live wire.
It's part of that attack, isn't he, with Waterhouse, Tyler, Hodges, Olsen.
Mead made the play just from the wing, and Olsen the lead, and a good grab in the end.
Well, this could snuff out any chance by Central in about 3 or 4 minutes. There's the kick. It may have been touched off the boot. He's kicked a goal.
Unbelievable.
It was a terrible kick, and if we have another look at it, it almost looks as though Schwert touches it.
Well, he definitely touches it, but it hasn't been kicked all that well. So there's the kick from Mead. A good grab. Have a look at this. It's gone in about 4 foot off the ground.
When you're not on, you're not on, are you? You've got to cover the goals. Goodness gracious me. 13-16, 8-12.
94 to 60. So the margin has exploded out to 34 points. Mead wins it. Potter in trouble. Malakalis has got him. West gets held without the footy. Everything going the Magpies' way now. And West to take the free kick from 80 metres out. The way they're going, he'll kick this. There's his kick. It won't make the distance. Surprise, surprise. But surprise, surprise again, because this man has got it on the end of a string.
Oh, you're kidding. It's called play on.
Clive Waterhouse. Well, what's going on there?
Thought it was going a pile there for a minute.
That is unbelievable.
Well, the Bulldogs turn it around, and all of a sudden the ball is up towards centre-half forward for them. Peter Green has tackled.
We might have a look at Waterhouse's catch again in a minute, Mark, if we can, but he quite clearly took it. He is absolutely dirty.
Been a funny old game, hasn't it? A goal when we didn't think it was, and a couple of touches, and kicked off the, touched off the boot. It's been pretty unusual from that point of view, but a bit depressing if you're a Central District supporter. Timmy Ginniver coming off due to the blood rule, and Central District still in attack, and they've got a chance to kick a goal directly in front. This is the big man, Conway.
Yes, there he is, the skipper going off with the blood rule. Conway, 3 goals last week against Glenelg, and today yet to open his account.
Mark Conway directly in front. He's got a goal, and I can tell you the clapping's not for the goal, it's for Timmy Ginniver coming off and Anderson going on. So Conway gets his first.
We might just have another look at this catch of Waterhouse's, which was actually played on. So there he is on a lead, and Vermine wrapped it up. No problem. Great catch.
Well, there's no way he could have called play on. Well, no, they are intelligent, surely.
Well, it just got played on, and not necessarily so. And the answer to your second question: 13-16, 9-12, 94-66. Are they gone, or can they get back? A chance now for Swert. Ingerson. There's a whistle on play. Not quite. Slow motion replay. Cook. Goal. They might be back. What an incredible game. Pretty easy touch from Cook. Slipped through and kicked his first.
Well, we're 22 minutes in to this final term. 2 quick goals, a good give in the end, and Cook, another one of those left footers that are pinpoint accuracy.
And don't forget, on the 12th of September, 8:30 live from the Convention Centre at Footy Park, the McGarry Medal, live and exclusive to ABC Sport.
So back to 22 points. It's been an extraordinary game. 13-16 to 10 goals, 12. 94 to 72, well and truly into the last quarter now. Probably about 7 or 8 minutes left. There is time. In modern footy, you can kick 5 and 6 and 7 goals in a matter of 10 minutes or so. So they're still in this, after Port Adelaide got out to a lead of something like 34 points only moments ago. Extraordinary. Big battle looming for 5th and 6th on the league ladder. Have more detail about that later. Here's the glove one, northeast. The ball ricochets. Another chance for Schwert here. Herrera's with him. Poole, Malakalis. Now Darcy. Not sure which way to go. Eventually gets a call from Darren Smith, and it's a good kick. Pinpoint. Darren goes with a lovely, it's a terrible hand pass in the end. Malakalis was his target. It ricochets now Central District through Harada. No, they couldn't make anything of that. Borlase round the corner. Darcy. Port Adelaide turn it around. Down ground. They'll snaffle this Central District defence. And Windsor's able to just take it and give it off to McKinnon.
There's Waterhouse caught well and truly behind the man there. Needs to concentrate. The runners coming out to tell him just that, I would think, too. He was 15 metres behind. Anderson in the box seat. He'll take the catch. Spent the last quarter on the bench.
Be nice and fresh now, wouldn't he?
Yes, although when you get a bit older, I think sitting around for after you've started is maybe a disadvantage. Opportunity now for Olsen from 20. And that's the ball game. Round 24, the Magpies. Hasn't been the Dogs' best day.
Troy Olsen's kick number 2. And all by himself is Foster. As we said, the Bulldog players in that third term got by themselves quite often. Sighted Foster then. Olsen just picks it up. And if you get the numbers to the ball more often than not, you are going to win the football match.
Works that way, doesn't it?
It just.
28 points, Port's lead. 30 seconds away from time on. Cott. High one, inside 50. Conway hasn't really had a sniff today. Ingerson wearing number 17 after ripping his other Guernsey. Wilson. Haven't seen a great deal of him in the second half, but he's a very exciting player. Wakeland at the back with a bit of time. Gets around Daisy Borlase and then boots it up into the general direction of left half forward. Lees, the centre half back. Been a tower of strength throughout the year. Melakellis to Wilson. Awkward little kick, but it's effective, and he finds Darryl Borlase. Saw his wife Jenny in the crowd earlier. World champion netballer.
Superb, wasn't she?
Fantastic, yes.
Very proud of her.
Short chip pass is okay to Darren Smith. He loves to hand pass today. Here's Foster, premiership player. 75 out inside 50. Waterhouse, nothing doing there.
And as a matter of statistic, Central have outscored Port Adelaide since the first quarter, 10-10 to 9-9, and it really is a price they've paid for a very slack opener, just not being on the board. Norwood lead by 77 points across town, South by 44, and we know that North have got the edge. Porter by 28, make that 34, the Maggies. They'll run home on this beautiful spring day at Alberton.
Yes, Coach John Carr very happy with this, just to lead into the finals. And they just keep at it. Darren Smith, a quick kick. Number 3. Number 15 for the side.
One on the first, one on the second, and that one there in the last quarter. 1.5 minutes into time on, 15-16 to 10-12. They made a bit of a burst, didn't they, Central? In fact, they had 2 bursts, really, and now they have burst because Port Adelaide have this well and truly wrapped up. Big hip and shoulder there by Mead. Lee, short. Schwert, half back. Gets it moving quickly. Ingerson down ground was the target. Falls over. Darcy receives, has to get rid of it quickly. Keeps it low, keeps it close to the boundary line. Mead and Harada.
Been a good player, Mead, today in the ruck. Sitting back on the fence, has read it well and been a handy player, a handy tool. 27-minute mark of this final quarter. Olsen from behind. Cook gets a quick one away. He should be a bit lucky playing in front. Was Cotton, did it pretty well. He wants to get on with it quickly. He's got Ingerson on a lead. That's the way he goes. And Sable goes to support. Oh, beautifully taken, Lees, and gets one around the chops for his trouble. And Paul doesn't like it, but he'd be happy to cop that one for that.
Bit frustrated there, Ingerson. A slight nudge, nothing in it. Well done, Ryan Lees, 50 metres.
John Cale with assistant coach Greg Akuchi Phillips alongside him. Plenty of experience between those two. A chance now for Lees as he runs up the ground, virtually uncontested. Punches one in, and Pyman should chop it off at the pass in front of Waterhouse, and happy to do so. Got a bit of a limp up. They have 3 weeks to get over it though, and 3 weeks to digest where they went wrong in the first quarter, where they were outscored 2 points to 5 goals 7 and trailed by 35 points, from which they just have not recovered.
Brian Lee's just coming off the ground again with the blood rule. So that's the third time to date. And Stephen Williams, he's had a couple of quarters on the bench, just coming back from injury. Could do with the run. But Brian Lee's had a pretty good outing today.
Yes, well done, Brian. Stephen Williams comes back onto the ground, a premiership player. And I might tell you the game's all over, yet there's not too many that have left. Credit to Port Adelaide fans, they stay right until the end, generally. Brian Lee's in the bunker with the boss, just having a cut attended to. So the Bulldogs will have a bye next week, and then they'll have a rest the following week.
Yes.
Then they'll play Port again. Here's Ingerson. Short. Darren Smith again. Not sure whether there's something wrong with Darren's leg, because he's hand passing a heck of a lot today. Kicked 3 goals though, so he's done pretty well with the boot. Lee, Schwert, way over the top. Goal coming up now. This is Wakeland, 50 metres out. Port Adelaide still putting a lot of pressure on the Bulldogs, and as a result, that ball offline to the left-hand side.
Yes, Wakeland.
Good effort in the end. Smith just got to him, put him off. And those little things in football do count to the end result.
Nearly 30 minutes gone. The margin now 33 points in favour of Port Adelaide, and they've been very good at home. As I've said, they really didn't recover from a poor start. The Dogs, Conway, Girdham inside, a chance now. Cookle kicking second in just as many minutes, is second for the game as well. And they make the scoreboard look a little bit more pleasant, but overall a very disappointing day out of the park for the Dogs.
And Tim Cook has played pretty well. Coach Alan Stewart would have obviously wanted a better first half from the side. Girdham's tried hard, so has Tim Cook. All to no avail in the end. Port Adelaide far too strong.
Don't forget, coming up, Stephen and David at Footy Park, North Adelaide and West. West fighting for a spot in the 5. North Adelaide have had a rough trot over the last 3 or 4 weeks, so they'd like to consolidate their position. They're in no way in danger of slipping, of course, but like to get back into the winning form. Short pass, Schwert, that's okay. Stephen Schwert now decides to play on, puts it to a loose man, and that's Windsor, who's come all the way down from full-back. Windsor from about 50 metres, nothing doing down there. Fiachi chases hard, and it's out of bounds.
Well, he summed up the wrong option there. Probably would have been better off having a shot for goal. In the end, just made it too difficult for the forwards.
Throw in from the right forward pocket. There's a snapshot at goal, but it was well smothered. Ambrose, who did very well on Delray last week against South Adelaide, kept him goalless actually, the fullback, because Roger Delaney is out. And doesn't look as though he'll take any further part this season. Roger Delaney, a very experienced player. I wonder if we've seen the last of him. I hope not, because he's wonderful to watch. 27 points the margin. Arnold. Darcy. So the sting really gone out of this game now, Michael.
Well, it has, and Port Adelaide, as I said, far too good. Just firing up for this last couple of rounds in the run into the finals, and won't they be a fairly tough opponent?
Here's Waterhouse, very exciting player. Runs past us, there's the siren. And I guess a fitting end in terms of who had the footy on that siren, because Waterhouse was very good. So was West, so was Darcy. The Mellicallis brothers were brilliant. 15, 16 to 11 goals, 13.